over the past 5 years, in my personal view, I think we've been really inside of some intense power struggle dynamics. And in
On
romantic
a
relationship, on a
societal level,
societal
right?
level, yeah, romantic relationship, we get into these issues about when to do the dishes, how to do the dishes, how often to have sex, what speed to go on the freeway, how frequently to call our parents, how much meat should we eat, how much money should we spend, what's the right TV show to watch, these kinds of things that couples might squabble over, who's in charge of the remote control. And on a global scale, we've been more focused on, is it better to get a vaccine or not? Should we be boosted? Should we not be boosted? Should we wear a mask? Should we not wear a mask? Are cryptocurrencies better than dollars? Is Russia right? Is Ukraine right? Should we eat meat? Should we eat veggies? Should we vote left? Do we vote right? And on every issue, you got these camps and these sides that people take. And in family systems, one of the things we've seen over vaccinations and masks, such a sensitive issue, is basically if you don't see things the way that I see it, then I'm going to cause you pain in some way. If you don't see things the way that I want you to see it, if you don't behave or do what I want you to do, that I'm basically going to create a problem for you or cause you pain or try to force you to see the world the way that I see it. And there isn't really dialogue in that. There isn't understanding. There's a real lack of nuance and subtlety and attunement. People take on these very defensive positions. And the same kinds of things happen in romantic partnership as well. That people will do things or say things to try to get their partner to love them the way they want to be loved, to get them to behave the way they want them to behave. And there's a deep psychotherapeutic rabbit hole that we can go down about this. But my point is that we see in the collective that there isn't a great understanding about how to be in relationship authentically, how to listen, how to demonstrate understanding, how to hold space for another person's reality when it's in opposition to yours, and how to embody a knowing and an understanding that me listening to you and seeking understanding and having this really intention of understanding you doesn't need to be a threat to my identity. If I understand you fully and I get where you're coming from, and we are on opposite sides of the same issue, it doesn't collapse my ability to be myself. It doesn't need to be a threat to my experience of being an individual. And I think there's a real lack of awareness in people about this. This is, they get triggered and they get defensive and they get into these sometimes repetitive cycles in their relationship, or they get fixated on issues, and certain things begin to dominate their mind space, dominate their mindset, and they have less energy to focus on the things that really matter and to intentionally and consciously co-create a lifestyle or a relationship that they really desire, because they're more fixated on this power struggle dynamic, or that they're right or that other people are wrong. And we see this with a lot of influencers and people on social media, that they've really dedicated their lives now to fighting a certain issue. And I'm not saying that people shouldn't take on causes and that these things don't matter. These issues are important, but I think it's the way that we approach them, the way that we approach the conversation. And
Right.
instead of being condescending or putting people down, engaging in these dynamics of inequality, I think there's a totally new paradigm that's really being called upon to show up in a new way, not just in our lives, but certainly in our relationships with people that matter to us the most.